we pause for a second or two. This is episode 128. LAGOM physical discomfort. LAGOM is a Swedish word. It is a concept meaning that something is just right, just enough, not too much, not too little. That is lagom. Lagom is a term helpful, useful when trying to strike that perfect balance. Today's episode is called LAGOM physical discomfort. So what we will talk about is physical discomfort when it is at just that right level. Not too much, but not too little either. When we make decisions, one very important aspect of it, of our decision making, is how we perceive our own physical discomfort. And how we perceive physical discomfort is very personal. And one person might shy away from all physical discomfort. Another person might be pursuing physical discomfort all the time, seeking discomfort, looking for it. And yet a third person might shift between trying to avoid it and to sometimes seek it out, and at yet other times just to deal with it as it comes. So what we are saying here is that how we relate to our own physical discomfort is very much personal, but also very much a skill. And today's title, LAGOM physical discomfort, is a way of giving a name to this specific skill. To make a craft out of how we want to make use of our physical discomfort, how we want to live with our physical discomfort. When it comes to this, to find lagom physical discomfort, to make a skill out of it, it has everything to do with our identity. So, if you are a daredevil, you will look for discomfort. If you are a careful person, in contrast, you will avoid it. Traditionally, if you are a man, you are supposed to not make a big deal out of physical discomfort, just bear with it. And many modern men do quite the opposite. They shy away from most all discomfort. I am making this podcast from Sweden. I am Swedish. And many Swedish men, most Swedish men, shy away from most all physical discomfort. So, lagom physical discomfort is quite an ironic term, because almost no Swedish men make a craft out of how to deal with or how to live with physical discomfort, what it might be good for, what might be the use of physical discomfort. It comes down to identity. It comes down to who we want to be. And right now, our Western world is becoming a more dangerous place by the day. There are more and more situations spontaneously arising, which give us a lot of physical discomfort. And in the midst of this change into a more violent Western world, each and every one of us needs to pause, must pause for a second or two and decide who we want to be. Most Swedish men, and now I am putting Swedish men in the doghouse, most Swedish men do not pause, and they do not decide on who they want to be. They simply do not make that decision. They do not know who they want to be, and they do not think about it. They just go about their days being without face, without name, and quite frankly, disappointing. When many men from the same group avoids physical discomfort. It builds up like the thunder in the background noise of this episode today. It's thunder here today. When many men avoid physical discomfort in their everyday life, it builds up. Tension builds up. This indecisiveness, this lack of identity builds up. And it will prove crucial that we are used to making a craft out of lagom physical discomfort, because that tension being built up will at some point be released. And then, if we have no concept of lagom physical discomfort whatsoever, we will lose all control of our decision making. Not some of the control, we will lose all control of our decision making. We pause for a second or two, and we decide on who we want to be, our identity, and how we wish to make a craft out of our physical discomfort. How we want to make a craft out of our decision making, because they are two sides of the same coin. Where there is physical discomfort, there will be some kind of decision making. In this last part of today's episode, we will talk about in practice, then what do we do to make a craft out of this? So what we do is that we start noticing the rhythm, the pulse from the situations we encounter in our daily lives that are physically uncomfortable. So it's like working out. When we work out, we wear our body down, we strain our muscles, and then we rest. And while we are resting, our muscle is building up stronger than they were before. To make a craft out of lagom physical discomfort is the same. So we enter a situation, or a situation comes to us, and it is physically uncomfortable. And we just pause for a second or two, and we just feel, what is this physical discomfort? Where is it in my body? What does it mean that I am having it right now? Who am I? What do I want to do in this specific situation? We can look around at the other people in this situation. Do they appear to be physically uncomfortable? What is their physical discomfort? Or are they comfortable? Is it only us that are uncomfortable? And if our physical discomfort is greater than the others, what does that mean? What do you want to do with that? That's what it comes down to. Is this an important situation? Do you want to engage? Do you want to achieve something here? Or is this a situation you want to let slide, to leave it, and choose a better situation, or a situation more in line with your identity, what you are here to do, what your goals are. And it is about rhythm, it's about pulse, it's about situation, uncomfortable. We pause for a second or two, decide on who we want to be, act upon it, and then we rest and we digest what we experienced. We rest for a day or two, and then there's a new situation and we do it over again. Just like working out, just like exercise. In time, as we get a feel for this pulse of physically uncomfortable situations, it gives us this sort of sense of the physically uncomfortable situations in themselves. And we get this sort of personal feel to it. Who am I in the face of physical discomfort? Who am I when my stomach aches? Who am I when my head aches? Who am I when I want to just look down and lower my chin? Who am I when my shoulders are slumping or I am looking away? Who am I when I want to be physically imposing? Who am I when I want to engage someone? When I want to lock eyes with someone? Who am I in that moment? It's all about identity, who we want to be. And it's about getting a feel for this pulse, this rhythm of physically uncomfortable situations. And in time, as we make a craft out of this, as we build up this skill, we will get a feel for what is lagom, what is just right, just enough, not too much and not too little for us personally. And we are realistic, and we do not inflate ourselves, and we do not put ourselves down either. We will find that lagom, that balance. We will find that as closely as we can, realistic image of who we are in crucial situations. That's what we do. So in conclusion, as physically uncomfortable situations come your way, pause for a second or two. Think about who you want to be. Try things out, and then rest. And then you do it over again. And you do that over time. And you get a feel for the rhythm of physically uncomfortable situations. And then you will get a physical sense, an intuitive sense of what is lagom physical discomfort for you, and you specifically. That's it for today. Thank you.